We are live. Hello, 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 everybody. We're a few seconds behind. Forgive me. This is the Author Spotlight, and I am Angie Mitchell, and I'm the Director of Marketing and Sales for Victorious You Press. So I'm really excited today. We're going to be talking to, or we are talking to, two of the authors of the newest anthology in the Image in the Mirror series. So we got two guys coming on here. It's called The Image in the Mirror 3. The King in Me represents the king I see. I'm pretty sure I said it right. But we're going to be bringing them up. They're going to talk about their chapters, tell us just a little bit about themselves. And so we can get a little buzz going. And I'm pretty excited. So today we're talking to Jarvis Swanson and Christopher Leonard. So I'm going to bring them on screen. I see Donna in the comments. Okay, it worked. It
Good
worked. It
morning.
worked. It worked.
Was it? It's good
Um,
afternoon, I guess.
yes, sir. Good afternoon. People are joining. If you're just now joining, share this broadcast out. Share, share, share. Invite your people to the group to come watch with us. We got some people in the comments saying hello. But first, we are going to say hello to these two gentlemen who are joining us. We have Mr. Jarvis Swanson.
Hello.
We got Christopher Leonard.
What's
And
going
these
on?
the cool and how we cool right up here on this good Friday afternoon. So I'm really excited to talk to you guys and just let the people know what's coming with the Image in the Mirror 3. This is the third book in the installment. Hello everybody. I'm saying hi to people too. This is the third book in the installment. This is the first book with all men. So that's exciting in itself. And so we're going to get into it. And we are going to start with Mr. Swanson. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So yeah, I am a husband to a beautiful gift from God, Demetra Swanson. I'm a father to 4 children. I am a friend to many. Don't look surprised. Like don't do me like
No,
that.
it wasn't for you. No, it wasn't for you. Listen, I clicked something and I couldn't see anymore. So that was not for you.
I was
I
like,
didn't even
dang, it's 4
realize
kids. Is that too many? That's too many kids. Okay, I got you.
No. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, father to 4 children. I try to be a good friend, and I'm learning to be a good friend to me. So I'm on a journey like everybody else.
I can dig it.
And then most importantly, I'm a child of God. Like that's the
Absolutely.
most important piece right there.
Absolutely. And I can dig it. Hello, Lori Sullivan. Donna is in the audience. So everybody is saying hello. How did you get connected to Victorious You Press?
So I was at church, and one of author that previously had worked with Joan. She was saying that Joan was looking for some men to give their experience, and somebody told her to talk to me, and I don't know I don't know why or how, but when she talked to me about it, and in fact there were a couple of different ladies that had worked with Joan in the past, and when she asked me about it, I just, in my spirit, it was just like I said yeah before I even got a chance to really think about it. And so then after I attended the Image in the Mirror 2, and so just after experiencing that, the conference, and then talking to Joan, and just the way that she simplified the author process, that was kind of like sealed it. Like, like I said, I said yes before I was ready, but then in meeting with Joan and her just kind of breaking down what that flow would look like and making it bite-sized pieces, I was like, okay, I'm in. And so here we are.
I like that. And you actually answered one of my questions, because I remember seeing you at the premiere of the documentary, because of course I was one of the co-authors in the Image in the Mirror. I was actually in the first 2. So I
Okay.
definitely remember seeing you at the premiere. And so okay, you also answered my other question. You said you told us why you joined, which of course Joan, she gonna bring you in, right? She sucks you in. Her light and her energy brings you, so it makes you want to want to join things like this. So tell me about the title of your chapter and exactly how it came about, how you decided to write this particular chapter.
Yeah. So the title of my chapter is Crowned by Grace. And um, really, it's just a story of how I came to Christ as a broken boy with adult problems,
Mhm.
with adult situations, but I'm just a scared kid living this life, and how he like graciously matured me over
Mhm.
the beginning of my relationship with him, which was like a 4 or 5 year process. And so I just kind of wanted to share the um the renewing of my mind. That's really what the chapter is about, is him teaching me how to see life, and most importantly, um how to relate to and see women, because that was probably the biggest struggle that I had, is
Mhm.
how I saw women, and how that impacted the decisions that I made. So I told you I had 4 children. Well, I had my first child at 16,
Mhm.
and so, I had to grow up way too quickly without my permission. I wasn't ready to be an adult and have adult problems. I was still just a kid. And so, um, the chapter is really about just the beginning of that journey of how he kindly and gracefully led me into manhood.
Mhm. Absolutely. So that's pretty powerful. And of course, it's very difficult for men to come out. This is like a really great project to show other men that it's okay to come on here, you know what I mean, and put yourself out there a little bit to empower other men. Do you think, that's like the big thing, right? How do you think your story will impact other men?
Um, it's tough because when you're telling the story, like when you go back, like when I went back, I had been telling myself my story for years, right? But
Mhm.
then when I go back to write it and I start comparing timelines with actual research about those timelines, and I kind of started to find out that some of my memories weren't as accurate as I thought they were.
Mm.
So the first impact was for me to be sure and about my own story. So it impacted me first. And so if I was impacted and I experienced and I went through it, um, then I was like, okay, it could be impactful for other men, because
Yeah.
the world often shows us that we're supposed to be superheroes.
Yeah.
Um, but I think what men really want from each other is authenticity. Um, and if a man can see that I respect this guy, and um,
Yeah.
I can be respected with my flaws. But when we all walk around holding in our stomachs, nobody gets to relax. We all look like we got muscles. We all
Right.
look strong when we actually struggling. But if I can say, no, I struggle with that too,
Yeah.
and here's where I grew, here's how I grew, then it gives other men freedom to do the same thing, I think.
I agree. I absolutely agree. What this entire experience, this whole anthology, and and writing, the writing process, and sharing your story, and dealing with Victoria Shoe Press and the team. What has that experience been like for you?
Um, it's been very organized, and I think that as a new author, um, the structure has been helpful, just because you don't really know what to expect. So you
Right.
don't know when and how you need to take that next step. So just
Right.
having that well paved road to follow, it gave me the courage to keep moving forward even when I don't know, because a lot of times that's what we struggle with. I know personally I struggle with the not knowing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so to have that path laid out has really been the key catalyst to making sure everything got done.
That's great. Excuse me, that is great. So we are talking again to Jarvis Swanson. He is a part, he is, what do we got? Seven. There's seven of you guys in this book. So he is one of seven. And he came on here to share his story with us. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop in the comments the link, because you guys all have different links, right? We are in pre-sale right now. So we're going to drop your link in the comment in case somebody wants to buy from you. But just tell people how they can get in touch with you. Can they find you on social media? Where are you at? Are you hiding somewhere? What's going on?
So yes and yes. I can be reached on the socials. I'm on Instagram at Coach Jarvis Ivan.
Okay.
And yes, I have been somewhat in hiding. I think I made a decision early on about social media that
Yeah.
has at this point become a limitation that I'm having to work through.
Oh, yeah.
Because there were so many we didn't, none of us really understood how to use social media when it first came.
Right.
And so I saw it as a distraction. And so I
Yeah.
put that label on it.
Yeah.
And now that we understand how better to use it, I have to get rid of that old label. And so
Absolutely.
yes, I've been in a little bit of hiding. And so this is my coming out party.
I was going to say it's time to come on out now. It's time to come on out. But okay, I am dropping the link. If you would like to order for Jarvis, look in the comments, click the link, all of that good stuff, and get into it. Get this book and try to and just get into it. Read his story, take a peek, in his life, and hopefully be empowered by the words that he shared. So I am next going to talk to. We got Mr. Christopher Leonard up here. I'm going to make it bigger because I can't see Jarvis. I'm just going to remove you and we're going to pull it up because I can't see. It's too little. So, again, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
And it was an absolute pleasure. And I really appreciate you, Angie, and Joan and Patty for inviting me to Joan.
Oh, it was Patty. It was
Yeah, yeah,
Patty.
yeah.
Okay.
And so it's been a beautiful ride. The other men in the book, they have really incredible stories. So
Yeah.
I just look forward to seeing the impact that God uses us to have. And so take care, everybody.
Yes. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate you. And I appreciate you coming on here, taking a few minutes to share with everybody. So
My
thank
pleasure.
you. And we
Take
will see
care.
you later. All righty. All right. Next up, we have Mr. Christopher Leonard. Again, he's also one of the authors in The Image in the Mirror 3. And he, I believe, is a first time author as well. So I'm just going to ask you to introduce yourself, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
What's up, world? My name is Christopher Leonard. I just want to give a major shout out to Jarvis Swanson for sharing the platform with me today as well and sharing his insights to his chapter in the book. But I'm an old country boy from Huntsville, Alabama, but I'm well versed. I've been around every piece of the world that you would think of. Um, Growing up, I was labeled as the prodigal son, pretty much, the one always into something, doing things that I didn't have no business doing, thinking I was grown, but I was still a kid. But I like to live my life by the motto that there's two sides to the coin. There's good and bad, there's fear and faith. And my life was based on fear and faith. When I realized I could use faith to overcome my fears, I pushed more to that side. But when I was living in fear, on the side of fear, I put myself in jeopardy. I limited the opportunities that were in front of me because I didn't realize that I could make the best out of it, even if it seems to be the worst. But life, people, and mistakes have helped me mature to get to this point.
And life will do that. Life will do that. Yes,
It
it will.
will.
Yes, it will. So, how did you get connected to Joan and Victoria Shoe Press?
Oh man, I can tell you right now, it was a process. So there was this lady, there's this lady named Miss Heather. I'm gonna say Miss
Mhm.
Heather
I
because
know
I
her.
can never get her last name right. But she's
Asiambi.
Asiambi, and she's the owner of Pens and Proof.
Hmm.
And I went to a business seminar that Malika Holloway did with the Visibility Blueprint Group, and I was sitting there, and I had met all these amazing people, and I was sitting right beside Heather, and I knew there was something special about Heather, and I couldn't figure it out. And then her and one of her business partners got up to speak. Meanwhile, me and her had been talking the whole time. I didn't even know she was going to be a speaker or influencer at the event. And she sat
Okay.
back down. I said, "You little sneaky lady." You wouldn't even want to tell me you were speaking up here. She was like, "Yeah, I have a business." She gave me her card. She said, "What do you do?" I'm trying to figure that out. And she said, "What do you do consistently?" And I said, "Well, I write. I got several books and journals where I've done nothing but writing and put down my thoughts on paper." And she was like, "Really?" And I shared some of it with her. And she was like, "Listen, you should write a book." I said, "Well, maybe you can help me." She said, "I can." And then months later, she said, "Hey, I want you to meet this lady. She's an amazing lady. She's a publisher. She's helped many people get number one best-selling books. You should have a consultation with her and see where it can go." I
Right.
said, "Okay, cool." So I did it. And when I say she was right, she was right. Miss Jones, she's an amazing lady. Like you said, she can pull you in and pull
Hmm.
out whatever you think you don't have out of you. And
Right.
she did that. It's like I could have gave her everything I had the way
Uh-oh.
she and then months for the image in the came out, and that's when this would be a great opportunity for you to writing skills. To be a chance for you to become a first time author and see if you really got what it takes. And so
Mhm.
I agreed, and I begrudgingly at first, and I signed up. And I only say begrudgingly because I realized that I would have to share my truth, and anybody could pick it up and read it. And so I was
Yeah.
nervous to be vulnerable at that stage.
Yeah. So why did you change your mind? You know what I mean? Why did you decide to forego that vulnerability and just jump into it?
Death. I had I lost three significant people in my life in over 5, maybe 6 years. And the person
Mm.
that really pushed me, who passed away, was my best friend and brother from another mother, Jeremy Manigan. He had got killed in 2021 of November, a couple
Mm.
years ago. And it shook my whole world up because me and him had been, like always, we talk like brothers. And to see him get killed, and I know he didn't deserve that, and he didn't do anything. He was saving a life in the
Mm.
midst of his life getting taken. He
Mm.
saved two lives. It was a woman who was pregnant, and he saw the shooting happen, and he jumped in the way and moved her out of the way. And in the
Mm.
midst of moving her out of the way, it took his life but preserved two.
Mm.
So when I realized he was able to do that, and God did that, I was questioning God. I was doubting myself. I had never questioned God to the degree that I did.
Yeah.
I was pretty much like just, I was ready to wash my hands with the whole thing. And then I just got in my prayer closet and I asked God to come to me and tell me and show me a sign, give me some direction. And months later, the direction would be to do this,
Yeah.
write my story, write a chapter, give you a snapshot of who I really am and what I had to overcome.
I can dig it. I love it. So what is the title of your chapter? And what, of course, without giving away too much, the title of your chapter and just a little bit about, what you're sharing. What part of your life are you sharing with us?
I'm sharing what a lot of people take for granted: second chances. My chapter is about second chances. My whole life, I've been given second chances. Whether I fumbled the ball with it or I took it and ran it in for a touchdown, I've been given second chances. And I realized that truly life is about people and it's about choices and decisions. When I was growing up, I was making a lot of choices. I wasn't, and they were choices because I wasn't fully informed on what it would take to accept that choice I made. But when I got to get older and consequences and reactions and responses were coming on one accord towards my choices, I realized I needed to make decisions. Decisions are what people do to be disciplined, to have a sound impact in life, to be influential towards the path forward, and most importantly, intelligent. And I do my best to live by those three I's: impact, influence, and intelligence. Whatever you do, it has an impact on your life. And the impact has an influence on the people in your life. And the intelligence is what you must use to make better decisions and investments in yourself.
I agree. I definitely agree. So let me see. I have one more question. How do we connect with you? No, before I ask you that, how do you think your story is going to impact other men, and how important do you think it is to share this story with other men and show the people how men can be vulnerable too?
It's a chance for men to understand that every great thing has its flaws. And it's also to get men to understand every wise man falls, but it is his will to get up that determines how he stands. The difference between me and the men who haven't spoken up is I'm willing to share where I fail at in life.
Right.
And I'm willing to show you and tell you the will that I use to stand up against it. And that your past doesn't have to compete with your future. Yeah. And for many years as a man, I was allowing, as a male in so many ways, I was allowing my past to compete with my future because I wouldn't go face it. I wanted to say I survived, but truth be told, I needed to heal.
Yeah.
And through you, Coach Angie, Miss Angie, and Miss Joan, I was able to find the will and fortitude to press forward to victorious you press as the company stands. And it's been a great experience. I did what I saw as the hard part, writing. Yeah. But now that when I look back, that was the easy part. The hard part is stepping out there, speaking to what you've done and what you're doing and what you will do, and taking the chance. And that's all I'm here to show men. Take a chance. Live full and die empty. That's what it's all about. Quit taking your regrets to the grave. I know too many men that have taken their regrets and they shoulda, coulda, wouldas to the grave instead of taking an empty soul to the grave so you can live in peace in heaven.
Yeah. Yes, I love it. So, I'm about to ask you how the people can get in touch with you.
Well, you can find me on Facebook as Christopher W. Leonard. You can find me on Instagram as Wayne Leonard. Those are the best ways to find me. You got any questions, concerns, just drop in my DM. I promise you I'll get to you. And I won't disappoint.
I love it. And I have dropped your link in the comments. So if you want to purchase from Christopher, his link is in there as well. Excuse me. I'm going to bring Jarvis back up just to close us out. We're going to close out with the both of y'all. I brought you back.
Back like I never left.
I brought you back. So we are going to close out. I just would like just some parting words, just some parting words from the both of you guys to share with everybody. So Jarvis, we'll start with you.
Uh, I think I guess my parting word would be: don't be afraid to share your story. Your story, the Bible tells us we overcome by our testimony in the blood of the Lamb. Well, Christ, He poured His blood out for us already. So the only thing that's missing is your testimony. Don't be afraid to share your story, because it doesn't have to impact everybody, but it's going to impact somebody.
Absolutely.
And that's what gives your pain some purpose, is having that impact on other people. Because otherwise, life is hard for everybody. And so instead of walking around carrying that pain, share it with somebody. Tell them the parts you glean from it. And then, to Christopher's point, that influence, that impact, and now helping them and yourself to intelligently move forward. That was great. Those 3 eyes were great, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And brother, thank you. And Christopher, you got any parting words? Even though those words you said before were definitely profound. So you have any more to share with us?
I will say what I said before, I will say it again. Every wise man falls, but it is his will to get up that determines how he stands. I'm telling you, in life, you're going to fall, but your will to stand up is what's going to keep you standing up. So take the risk. If you fail forward. Learn from your mistakes. Nobody made this road perfect. And it's not meant to be. For those who are meant to be influential, impactful, and intelligent, you go down a road that no one else has gone down before, and you leave clues for the next person to follow. Yeah. So leave the clues behind. Quit going down where the majority went. Go down your own path. Leave the clues for someone else to find and perfect your path of progression. So, like I said,
I love it.
Give yourself a chance to stand.
Right.
Good stuff.
It is good stuff, right? It's definitely good stuff. And, I appreciate you as well. So I'm going to say again, thank you both. Thank you for coming on here. Thank you for joining the anthology. And just thank you for, showing your vulnerability to the world. And of course, encouraging other men to do the same. So absolutely. I appreciate y'all and thank y'all. I'm going to remove y'all.
Thank you.
Oh. I did that.
You dropped Jarvis.
I didn't mean to do it that quick. So, oh my goodness. We today we're talking to 2 of the co-authors of The Image in the Mirror 3. They are in pre-sale. Go in the comments, click their links for whom, you want to buy from Jarvis, click his link. You want to buy from Christopher, click his link, but just click a link. Just click a link and get a book. And also, tomorrow is our masterclass. So if you want to learn how to plan, execute, and launch your virtual event, your virtual product, if you want to learn how to do that and get a step-by-step process that is going to get you a return on your investment, that is going to get you some good revenue. I'm going to say it like that. Make sure you go to www.victorioupress.com and click on the masterclass link and register for the masterclass. So again, this has been Angie Mitchell, Director of Sales and Marketing at Victorious You Press. And I thank y'all for joining. Until next time. That is so funny. I've always wanted to say until next time. So until next time. Bye, y'all.